Hey guys, RPG Tweaker here. Going to talk to you a little bit about my Pathfinder session that happened last Tuesday. So the party did a really good job. They went back from clearing level 4 peacefully. Not everything has to end in fiery death in combat, although it's fun when it does. So the party goes back to Fort Inevitable, finds a house that they want to buy, clear it out, and they find out that there's basically like a secret tunnel down to the city sewers that's used by the Thieves Guild, or what counts as the Thieves Guild for Fort Inevitable, for the Emerald Spire module from Pathfinder. So, Party Paladin is not happy that these rogues are operating, so sends up 4 letters to the most important people inside of Fort Inevitable: Lady Odara, Drovost, Commander Wolfhelm, Hast from the Chancery, so what counts as the Mages Guild, and the Merchant Council. So that's being said and done. The Hell Knights come to investigate quite quickly, open up the trap door, find that this floor is sealed up with stone via stone shape. So the party thinks, oh, well, I guess that's done. So the Hell Knights will investigate the sewers, etc. What the party doesn't realize is that what can be sealed up with magic can be unsealed with magic at their leisure. So I'm going to have that kind of come into play a little bit. The party's going to think they're safe, or something will happen, or they might find small things missing just to kind of like mess with them a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that, especially the paladin, because go ahead and they tried my character Mag to try to make a deal with them, and they're going to screw that over. Come on. So, but good role playing points for my paladin that way. Well thought out. So anyway, we go ahead and head back to the spire. But before doing that, there's a sidetrack that they, like a little trip they want to go on. So at the Red Shield Tavern inside Fort Inevitable, in the description it talks about how there's a map that's been hidden in the shield underneath some paint for a long time. So the party paladin, who I know hasn't seen the book out of game, is decked out in all this massive armor and loves like the lore of weapons and armor and such. So he's like, well, I'm going to explore this cool tower shield. Rolls really well on his perception check and finds, oh, there's a map here. So in finding that map, convincing the shopkeep to let him copy it, and the shopkeep will let me know what happens. It'll add to the lore, and if there's any treasure, please cut me in. It'll help. And then she gave them like some free drinks and some food, so some goodwill there. Party Paladin's more than happy to agree. So they go to the Echo Woods, which is the forest close to the Emerald Spire. They find a clearing that matches the map. There's a boulder and a stump. They're like, well, let's start digging. So they go up to the boulder. The Party Paladin's kind of like, ah. So, because all of a sudden a monster called a Bullet, who is a challenge rating of 7, and they're only level 3, so pretty mean guy, pops out of the ground basically and attacks them. He mangles the witch with 1 bite, so the witch isn't doing so well. And thanks to my bard using some minor spells of illusion, a lucky spell of grease with a bad roll from the Bullet, they managed to barely make it away from the Bullets, and they make it to the Emerald Spire, and they rest up, and they're ready to go fight again. So they're debating about what floor to go to. They can go to 6, because they found the way to transport through the spire and whatnot. So what happens is they go down to level 3, where it's called the Splinter Den, and small spoilers ahead if you want to send me an ask or anything with more questions, but if you want to be surprised, please do not listen further. I'd like you to keep listening to my video, but anyway, you've been warned. So we go ahead and go into the Splinter Den, which is a bunch of rogues and thieves who follow Norgriber, who's a very bad, evil Pathfinder god. So basically god of like assassins and other such things. So anyway, party goes in through a secret passage that they find through some information that they got in town from someone who had some dealings with them. Sneak in, leads right to the armory, and then they go through, systematically start killing the rogues. They find these robes, ceremonial robes and masks, and the masks have these like small little like potions that kind of like have a dropper that goes on by the nose piece, And the party's like, well, is it poison? And the Inquisitor in our party can detect poison. It's not poison, so he's happy. So they kind of walk around, and one of the witch accidentally triggers like a poison cloud trap. So plur, and because of the mask that they're wearing, they're not poisoned. So like, hooray! So the witch finds some of the rogues in a room, tries to convince them that he's them to kind of like test out his disguise. The party is kind of like not knowing what's going on at this moment because he just does it. So he fails to convince them that he's one of them because they're kind of questioning why he's all in the getup and they weren't told, etc. So when he kind of goes like, then the party has to jump into action, but not before one of the rogues pulls the bell rope. One of them was put to sleep by the witch using a hex, and the other one was pulls the bell rope so the alarm is rang. The party fights and kills the two guys. They're a little wounded, but nothing too crazy. And then they go over to explore another room quickly before reinforcements arrive, and they find, kind of like a jail kind of like room. And there's a mouthing gibber who is challenge rating of 5. And he's a nasty, nasty fight. He's immune to critical hits. He's got a whole bunch of like slam attacks, blood drain abilities. That's bad news. And engulfing. So the barbarian gets engulfed, and he's getting chewed up and eaten up, and it's bad. So after a whole bunch of fighting and a whole bunch of damage, my Scald, Magda, cuts open the gibber just enough to pull out the barbarian. Usually it's the other way around, but I was specifically trying to get some cool flavor and RP points, plus to save the barbarian a little bit. So party beats the gibber just barely. They're mangled. They decide to go back and rest. So the party goes, but the witch is like, hold on guys, I'll be back in a minute. So they wait. They go about their business. They're going to go heal up on the surface. So the witch goes to mangle the bodies for some psychological warfare, being like, oh, maybe they'll be scared or they'll wonder what happened, which, cool points for that. So anyway, what he didn't realize is that, or maybe didn't think about, is that there's still a lot of pissed off rogues or alerted to this floor. There was an alarm that's going on. So anyway, he got snuck up on him from behind, knocked out through damage, and then he goes and gets dragged away. So the party in game time, like 10-15 minutes later, is like, well, where is he? They go to find him. They find him basically like tied and dragged in a room that is got 4 rogues in it. So my Scald makes up a plan on the spot to kind of try and save the witch. So she sets them all up in this room where, in the first part of the level 3 Splinter Den, there's a room that you walk into, an iron gate across that leads down to some stairs to the next level down of the spire. But on the right side, there's murder holes where the rogues to interrogate get a little drawer thing that lets the money through, plus murder holes to shoot arrows through if they don't do whatever from relative safety. So the party is going to use, thanks to my plan, use the murder holes on the other side to their advantage. So we're going to lead them into the guard room, basically on this way, and then after I lure them out of that. So Magda goes and sets everyone up, and then goes to the room. I go to smash the door open. I roll a natural 20, so a 20 plus my plus 5 strength plus my muscle of the society character trait, 27. I needed a 23. Doors splinters. Kaboom. So I lure the rogues out, and 3 of them come out after me, and I kind of blow them a kiss, smack my ass, and run, kind of taunt them a little bit. So I get into the main guard room where everyone else is kind of hidden and ready, and I do a full defensive action. They come up, they miss me, and then by that time the party barbarian seals off the one exit to the room, hits a guy. My party paladin comes out from hiding, hits a guy. The 2 other members are shooting through the murder holes, hit, and I start laying out, and then basically the party decimates these 3 rogues pretty quickly with no injury. I wanted to show them a little bit of tactics. Magda's a battle bard, Scald kind of thing, so she's interested in warfare and tactics. So I just wanted to show the party that there's, smart ways to, go towards combat and such. With some teamwork and planning, you can deal with some stuff pretty effectively. So we go back, and the party runs into this group who's by the well, it's not the group, it's Chunga the witch and this one rogue who's kind of like tied up and mangled on this altar, and the rogue's got like a dagger to his throat kind of thing. And he says Norgobur will have his sacrifice, and then I RP it where he goes to slash Chunga's throat. Chunga's unconscious, so basically helpless. Now, the other people in the party are like, well, I'm going to do this, this, this. So it's the Ranger and the Inquisitor and the Rogue who roll for initiative. So the Rogue goes first, coup de grace. The Witch survives the damage, makes the fort save. Rolled really well, so he's alive but mangled. And I'm using my critical hit decks that are 3.5 and Pathfinder compatible, and it's treated as a critical hit. So he's permanently blinded by this critical hit, so it's pretty brutal. So even if he lives and such, then he's got to get that sorted out. So then the Ranger is letting off like some many shots and shooting arrows. The Inquisitor's doing some stuff. But then the Rogue gets to act again. Goes to kill him again. Survives again for the coup de grace, only because I have the party where they've had access to something on level 4 called the God Box. And what I've kind of done is that there's a book called Mythic Adventures that'll give the characters access to mythic power, and so since they had the dealings with that, I want them to have like the first kind of tier and stages of that. So it makes them hard to kill. Not impossible, but harder to kill. So the Witch is stabilized, basically 1 hit point away from being permadead. So that's where the session ended. I told the Witch to roll up another character just to surprise them and kind of like, oh, like the Witch is dead. So they got to deal with the Rogue, who basically went thinking that the Witch was dead, ran on through this one side room through like this guard robe or toilet, and there's a ladder that's actually like a little escape hatch thing that he jumps down, so the barbarian smashes it, and they see a ladder, so the chase is on. Once the party kills this rogue or they go to rest, basically they'll gain a level, be stronger, new abilities, all that good stuff. So that's where we left off. But now, depending on how the party deals with the Witch, and if they can detect to see how he's doing, because they would need a pretty decent heal check or perception check to see how he's doing. If they manage to do that, he'll be saved, and that's good. If not, then he'll have a new character, and we'll work that into the party. So that's all I have for this week. If you have anything that you ever want to ask me, hello to all my followers, by the way. Please feel free to send me an ask. RPG Tweaker. Yeah. Have a good day, guys, and I hope everything works out well. Stay nerdy. Bye.